Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon White 2. So as you can see, we are still inside of Chargestone Cave. But however now, after we defeated at least one or two more trainers here, then we'll be off to Mistralton City. And now here's where we see Bianca again, and she says that she is doing some research on Tynamo. Yeah, and she says there aren't very many, and they don't seem very strong. Yeah, on their own, there really is obviously not that many Tynamo, and they're obviously are not that strong. But they are definitely a lot more common now than how they used to be. And I would say even more like popular than how they used to be now. Yeah, I would say the Tynamo line is definitely a lot more popular than they actually used to be. Yeah, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, Tynamo, Electric, and Electros didn't exactly get that much screen time, or even make appearances in several, in a whole lot of games, until Generation 9. Yeah. Oh, hello. Now we have our very first appearance of Magmar. No. Alright, now this indeed our very first Magmar that we have seen in Generation 5. Okay, everyone. Now what you're seeing is what? Really? You also? Okay, you know what? That's fair. Yeah, I poisoned you and you got a crit on me. Yeah, I will take that actually. But anyways, everyone, and now as you saw, yeah. Now for the sprite that Magmar gets in Generation 5. Now I would say it looks very similar to the I would say it is the same sprite that they actually now I believe that Magmar's sprite here is the same one from a Diamond and Pearl. It's and then as for Magmar's for the animation, now as you may have saw, Magmar definitely also loves to move around his arms a lot. Just like like the buzz. Yeah, that right there you can definitely tell that those two are very similar. Yeah, now you can see how those two are quite similar to each other, I guess. Yeah, but anyways, now back to what I was saying about Tynamo. Now as I said, Tynamo didn't exactly get that much treatment within the series until Generation 9, where Tynamo, Electric, and Electros got to be in the Paldia Pokédex, the Kitakami Dex, and the Blueberry Dex, which essentially makes, which I think Tynamo, Electric, and Electros are, I want to say they are the only few Pokemon with it in Scarlet and Violet actually get to be within every single dex within those games. And then we got a Legend ZA where we not only got a character who mainly focuses on showing off, you know, Tynamo Electric and Electros. But also her main partner is not only an Electros, but also Electros actually ends up getting a actually gets a Mega Evolution. So again, yeah, even though Tynamo, the Tynamo line was never like popular to begin with, but then all of a sudden Generation 9 just gave it a apparently they just gave my line a whole lot of love. Okay, everyone. Now, as you can see, now we are indeed now in Mistralton City. Now, first off, now with this like house here, now this house actually used to be owned by the family. Now, who used to they used to belong to the move reminder and the move deleter. But since they have moved over to the Pokemon World Tournament, so now we have this woman here. Now she will give you a HP up if you just happen to show her a good number of TMs. Now I honestly don't recall about how many TMs then you actually need to show to her in order for you to be able to continue getting more HP ups. But essentially, if you want to get more TMs, or should I say now, if you want to get more HP ups, then start getting a lot of it. Then start getting a lot of TMs. Okay, now structurally, Mistralton City now hasn't changed that much within the 2 years. It's just a few NPCs that have either moved to somewhere else, like as I said for the move deleter and the move reminder. And we've also got a few new NPCs now here. Yeah, and that's really about it when it comes to and that's really about it when it comes to Mistralton City. Yeah. Now, and speaking of moving towards Driftvale City. Now, and speaking of moving towards Driftvale City. Oh yes, right. But first, yeah. Now we once again have the move. Now we once again have the metal guy. Okay, let's see if he just happens to have another medal for us. And he does. Okay. Again, the medal we're gonna get this time is the battle veteran. Okay, now you simply get this medal if you just happen to participate in at least 400 battles. So you can probably get that one very easily. But it is a one now. Now, as I was saying, and speaking of those who have moved out, also the guy who used to be here to tell you what type of hidden power that your Pokemon has. Now he has a, now as you previously saw, now he has also moved over to the Pokemon World Tournament. So yeah. But anyways, now as for this guy. Okay, now if you want to get the TMs for Hail, Sunny Day, Rain Dance, or Sandstorm, then you simply just like about to have to get them from there. Yeah. But anyways, now as we continue on to explore around. Hey, look who it is! Yeah, hello there. Yeah, now this right here is definitely the first time that we ever get to speak to Professor Juniper in person. Yeah, whereas in the beginning of the prequels, you essentially meet her like you essentially meet her at the start of your journey. Whereas in the Black 2 and White 2, yeah, you essentially, you now meet her. Now you actually first meet her within Mistralton City. So yeah, that is certainly something of a big change up for that, huh? Okay. I see. Thank you. This is talking about gratitude. Oh, holy shit! Yeah, now when we actually get to meet her in person for the first time, yeah, she also gives you a friggin' Master Ball. Yeah. Yeah. Now this time we actually get the Master Ball a lot more like earlier this time. That means my research will never end. Still, like you could say that's what makes it fun. Yeah, I suppose so. Professor Juniper! Oh, I wonder who shouted her name. Hey, look who it is! Look who it is as well. Yep, it is indeed our very own Skyla, who is still of course the Mistralton City's gym leader. Yeah. So there hasn't changed all that much anyway, as well. Why are you surprised, Professor? You did ask for a lift. In my plane to cross a twist mountain. Since you can't reach Opelousas City by foot. Yeah, that is also something that has also been changed too. Is that currently we cannot actually get access to Opelousas City right now. Yeah, more so on foot. It's because, you'll definitely see what I mean as I go through, as I go through in Route 7. So yeah. But anyways, everyone. Now we essentially get ourselves a choice here. Now we can either go after Professor Juniper, who is just so happened to hand herself off to a Celestial Tower. Yeah, and we can also go through for Route 7 if we want to get some training in, or we can already challenge, or we can challenge the Mistralton Gym. But however, if you want to be able to gain some, actual progress, you're gonna have to go through like you're gonna have to go through like you're gonna have to go through like both of them. You're gonna have to go through both of them either way. So yeah, now if you really want to make some more actual, if you want to make some actual progress, yeah, then we're gonna have to go through both things anyway. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Now, okay, everyone. Now, and I guess another thing that has also been changed within Black 2 White 2 is that within the cargo service area, now there will be a woman standing near the TV, and if you give her for a 10 sweethearts. And if you give her for a 10 sweetheart items, then she will give you a heart scale. But however, if you just so happen to trade those sweethearts on a Valentine's Day and also White Day, that being February 14th, and also March 14th. Then she will only need to give her 5 sweetheart items. So yeah, that is definitely worth something. Now as you just saw there. Now if you just happen to help out that guy, by letting him see for one of your flying type Pokemon, yeah, then he will give you some netballs. And also from this woman again, I believe. Now I believe that this is the same woman who gave you the who gives you the shark beak last time. Yeah, now as you saw, now she indeed does so again. Now another thing that's also different. Well, not so much in terms of the cargo service area, but now if you just happen to acquire six badges, and after meeting Professor Juniper over at the Celestial Tower, yeah, we are actually gonna be able to fly over to we are actually gonna be able to fly a plane. We can actually travel by plane over to an area that we have not seen yet. Yeah, now it is actually a brand new location within a Black 2 White 2. But however, that right there. But however, flying to that destination is not going to be is actually not going to be the only time that you are going to be able to fly a plane. Now, if you just so happen to see every single Pokemon within the Black and White 2's within the Black and White 2's regional decks, and you just happen to get a permit from Professor Juniper. Now you can actually fly over to a location that is also new to the series. New to this that is also new to this region as well. Now, however, since I obviously have no intentions of showing off or trying to find every single Pokemon in the game. So yeah, that's why I'm not gonna bother showing it off whatsoever. Yeah, but maybe if I want to, yeah, then I'll probably will cover that. I will cover that whole thing. Yeah. And also, now what is also different within Black 2 White 2 is that we have this now we have ourselves a mulch-maniac. Now he will buy the mulch that you just so happen to have for a much more like a much more like a higher price. So if you just happen to acquire mulch, then definitely go there if you want to be able to get more money. Yeah. And also just like last time, just like last time, after you have defeated just like last time, if you just happen to defeat Skyla, then you hand yourself over to a house that is next to the cargo service, and then you talk to one of the kids there. Then they will give you then they will show you a location of where a special item just so like happens to be. Ah, yes, right. And we also have this woman here now too, who she will of course will give you your very next FunFest mission. But like I said before, I have zero interest of going through any of those whatsoever. Okay, everyone, now I think with that said, I think that is all I really have to say in terms of like Mistralton City as a whole. Yeah, it's just I will cover I will cover the new redesigned Mistralton Gym once we get to that. But of course I am gonna be hand myself. I'm gonna get myself over to I'm gonna hand myself over to Celestial Tower, so that of course I can actually get my training in first. Oh yeah, and now you have this girl who says that Team Plasma went after certain Pokemon like a Purrline. Yeah, apparently she knows something. Apparently she knows something about Purrline. Purrline that probably Hugh would have interrogated to the freaking bone. To the freaking bone to see if she had any sort of like information about where his sister's Pokemon's at. Yeah. Oh yeah, and now this girl who says the wind blows really hard in Skyla's gym. Yeah, that is definitely I would say that is definitely the thing that has also been redesigned about the Mistralton Gym. But of course, as I said, I will cover that when we actually get to it. But with that said, that should be all I am gonna do for this part. And so once again, we shall head for Route 7. And so next part, I'll see you guys next time.